create a training in SI2, you can get to the training page through the menu bar across the top or one of these buttons that are on the screen here. So I'm going to click Trainings. Again, you have your filters on the side. You can change the view at this to be any one of the preset filters. You can create new ones in there. And on the right-hand side, you have quick action buttons. So when I go to create my training, I'll click the Create New Training button. I'm going to give the training a name. I'm going to give it a start date. I'm going to set it for tomorrow. Hours are 7. Total training session time is 7. I'm going to punch in total amount of the breaks, but by hours, so I'm going to put in 0.5. You can add a presenter to it. You can add a student to it. Again, on these search lists, as you start to type in, it narrows down the list for you. You can type in the full abstract if you like. Underneath the abstract, there's a button to say hosted by our servicing agency. You know which ones are yours. And in future development, we're also going to be able to have co-hosting agencies. For example, when we do the webinars, we'll be able to have more than one collecting all the information from that. You can also require attendees to fill out an evaluation before they're issued their certificate of attendance. The system will generate the certificate of attendance out for you once the attendees have filled out their online evaluation, finished it, sent in, then they're going to receive their certificate of attendance in the email. So click that box if you want to require it. Pick whatever the content areas are for your training. Come down and select a grant. You are typically only going to have one grant active at a time. Some folks have more than one grant, and that's why it's designed like this, but you won't have to worry about that. In the next window, not in the next window because I skipped staff responsible. So if you miss something, it's going to have you come back and fill it back in, make sure everything else is still here. Once I made that mistake, it undid the grant option for me at the bottom, so I had to redo that. Now I'll hit next. The learning objectives, type in what you would like. And you can type in whatever you like into the learning objective field. And notice as I start to type in something in the field, another field pops open. So you can put in, I think it's up to 10 learning objectives. You also have an option to create your own customized evaluation questions, and that's on the feedback questions, so feedback. And again, as I type in the feedback questions here, another line comes in so that you can put more than just one. I think you can go up to 4 on those feedback questions. Those are customizable. Underneath that section is the performance measures. Come down and click whatever performance measures are connected to this effort, or as you see fit. You can use the measure name to unselect or select all. You can also just customize it by unselecting one of them. Hit next. And now your training is built and it's in the system. The way Salesforce works, it has to build the base and then build everything off of it. So you do that through those first 2 windows. Close this window out. You come back to the list view. You're going to have to hit refresh. And then you see the training that we just did come up. Demo training 11.5. So this will take you, you click on that hyperlink, it will take you to that particular training itself. Now you'll see in here in the training detail section that there is send evaluation date and it's not in there. Training evaluations will be sent out on the date populated in this field. In order to put the date in that field, you have to come up to the quick action buttons and you have to tell the system to send training evaluations. I'll give you this button. You're going to say yes, go ahead and send them. And then you're going to say next. The reason that's in there is so that you can come through and you don't make the mistake of not having attendees organized, not having them in there, whether you're manually entering them or you're sending them out for registration online, and then that day you took attendance. There are people that showed up that weren't on there, and there are people that didn't show up that were registered for it. So you can take them out of here first before you send that evaluation out. The other thing too in here is, now here's the feedback questions for the initial training. And then on the follow-up training, this is set up so that you can set a follow-up training to go out a month, 2 months, 3 months later on. You want to see what they've done differently. What's happened? What's been a change since you first did the training? The initial training just asked for their feedback. That's self-reporting. and basic satisfaction questions that are on the GEPRA. Now the follow-up training is going to ask you more questions, and to get over to that, again, back up to the quick action buttons, create follow-up evaluation. It's going to give you this window, and you're going to pick when it is you want to send out the training. You can set the date now for it. And you're asking if there's been any sort of change. That's what we're trying to get to on this. So you have to select the questions, if any, you'd like to add. Have you implemented any strategies or ideas from these trainings? You click this, and they'll get this as a follow-up evaluation, asking that question as a yes or no question. Same thing with have you shared information obtained from these trainings with others, families, professionals. Would you be interested in receiving additional training and information? And there's also a place on here in case you want to add 2 more additional questions yourself. You want to customize this. You click yes, and there we've got add question 1, and add question 2. And select next. So you'll see now the date for the follow-up evaluation when the system will send it out for you, the questions that it's going to ask. You've got your 2 additional, plus have you implemented the strategies, have you shared information, interested in additional trainings. Those are additional questions that will go out in that evaluation. On this training page, you've also got the related tab, and underneath there you have your attendees. Your learning objectives will be listed out. The GEPRA are brought in as basic satisfaction questions. Your evaluations will be listed below each individual. This is a lot of information that you could drill down into and get. You've also got a place to upload files here. So if you click this, you can put up all your handouts, any sort of abstract, bio, PowerPoint, budget information. You can upload any files that are related to the training here. Other buttons in your quick action buttons, you can cancel the training, which keeps it in there, just makes it inactive. We can send out the training evaluation, which I showed you. We have to do that, otherwise it will not go out. And when you do the send training evaluation, you can also create that follow-up evaluation that we just looked at. You can generate a training summary that brings up everything about the training, the evaluations, and the follow-up evaluations. You can also click edit, and that will open this up, so you can look at this page and edit anything in there that's on there. You've also got a printable view. One last thing to go over. Now that you've set up your training, you can send training registrations. Once you call this search up, you can narrow it down to a single person if you like. Click on there, click on the name, click in the box to the left, and again, this button will include everybody, or the button on top here where it says name. This will take everybody off. Once you've selected who you want the invitation to go to, send it over to the other side, send emails. And then this will now email anybody that was on that list a link to then register for the training. That's it for trainings. If you have any questions, please reach out. And more videos to come, so keep an eye on the site for it.